Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. It's time for Owin's Field Report, sponsored by Les Schwab Tire Centers.
Well, my field report's pretty simple. Yesterday, after the show was done, we hustled over to the Sportsman Show and spent about 6 hours, I guess, there, and never had a chance to shut up. I can tell you that right now. It was crowded. Had a chance to meet a lot of people, and it was great. I absolutely love that. It can certainly get a bit monotonous, so I will say this. If there was anyone out there that was hanging out, waiting to come over and say hello, and if I was unable to get there, I certainly do apologize. That was never intended. And for the many that I had a chance to meet, thanks for coming up and saying hello. I really do appreciate that all the time. I really do. It's just a ton of fun. But there was a lot going on. I mean, and one of the funnest parts about these shows is that, again, you know, you can go see all the stuff that's always been there and talk to friends and this and that and see new things. And there's one that I did find, and it was kind of out of the blue. I didn't actually see it myself until the guy's like, "Hey, come here, I want to show you something." And I get that a lot, right? Which is awesome. But this thing, it really intrigued me. I initially looked at it. You're going to go, "What the heck is that?" I looked at him like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then he told me what it was really for. This is a wrench for your Scotty or your Folby rod holder. Now, you're gonna go, what do you need a wrench for? You just lock it down, the teeth will lock it in, true. But there's a lot of people that use those little pads, the little synthetic, plastic, rubbery, whatever circles that they put on there, so those teeth don't actually go in, so you can get infinite adjustment on those rod holders. Scotty makes them in particular. I know that you can find them online, but what this wrench does is it actually tightens up on it so that you can lock that thing down, because if you've ever tried to do that with the Folby, which is all I fish with, you're gonna take some skin off your fingers or just flat out not be able to get it tight enough. Well, I just thought it was really I mean, just the thought to go into that was very thoughtful. It's the Fish SOS. I had to have one. And now I gotta go buy those little rubber things. Anyway, but let's go ahead and show you, before we get to river levels and everything, I got to show you the video of my daughter and her friend Kinley over there at that trout pond. And Kinley was actually lucky enough to catch one. I guess it was kind of tough fishing, and they had some fun. You know, she ultimately released the fish for some other kid to catch the thing. And I mean, there was just a lot of kids participating. You can see the crowd there in the background. And they just had a ball. I mean, overall, the girls are getting big enough, old enough where we give them a little bit of room to wander around and kind of do some of their own thing a little bit. I'm still a little overprotective probably, but they had a great time along with all the other kids that were there. And I think we've got another photo right here to show of the big man himself. That's Jared Higginbotham from Yakima. He's been posing for this photo with my daughter, Lana, for years. And it's amazing how yesterday, when he picked her up, you could tell he was stressing a little bit. That's because she's getting huge. Anyway, they had a ton of fun like everybody else. It was a really good show. Everybody that I had a chance to talk with, we're overall having a great show this year, which is good to hear. River levels, let's jump to those. This upcoming week's gonna be a little interesting, okay? My home river, I'm not calling it perfect. It's low and clear, but some people like that. I had that discussion with a couple folks yesterday. I'd like to see higher. It looks like it's going to get a little bit of bounce later on in the week, and that's pretty much consistent for all the rivers that we're going to see here, except when you get onto the coast. So local, you're going to see some of that snow melt as things warm up. We'll find a little bit more about that with Katie here in a minute. But yeah, so you've got overall good conditions everywhere to chase some steelhead around this week. And I'm kind of hanging my hat a little bit on this upcoming week. Have some opportunities to get out a little bit more. I actually planned ahead. Again, I don't do that all the time. I like to be on the whim and see what things are really going on. But this upcoming week could be interesting. So if you get the chance to get out there, do so. ProCure giveaway, here you go. Send Jason Hambley an email. That's Jason@ProCure. You might have a chance to win one of the steelhead, slanted for steelhead. You can use it for anything. Prize packs that they give out each week. So make sure you do so. Also, for all of you folks out there that are salty, right? That want to be out on the saltwater, you want to chase some tuna, bottom fish, whatever it is, don't forget about the Saltwater Sportsman Show that's coming up this upcoming weekend. It's down there in Salem. And trust me, if you're one of those folks that just has that call to chase fish around or just enjoy the ocean, Certainly a place that you need to be, unquestionably. And let's find out from Katie what that weather might even be like this upcoming weekend. It looks like things are, well, not going to be like summertime, but kind of warming up a little bit.
Kind of warming up a bit. There's some hints for some mountain snow. And when we were together last weekend, there were hints that we were going to get mountain snow this time that we just had earlier in the week. It just looked, because it was so far out, it looked like biblical proportions. It was way too much, and that's why I didn't mention it. I only showed you what we were expecting through about Wednesday, because that seemed more reasonable. What we're seeing right now, both in snow and rain, looks very reasonable. So here's what we have. By the time we get to 1 o'clock today, clouds clear up a bit, not too much, and then you see a shower, then a few sun breaks, then a shower, then a sun break, then a shower, then some sun breaks, then a few more showers, and that's what we're expecting once we get through the end of the day today. Showers, sun breaks, and maybe a little mountain snow. All we're seeing right now is about 2 inches up at Government Camp Timberline, maybe a little more through the gorge area, but again, nothing of biblical proportions, just some late winter El Nino type snow. And then rainfall, look at this. We're only seeing about 0.2 of an inch over the next 3 days. So that obviously is not very much. We are short for the month on our rain total by at least a ½ inch. So that this, at least for by this point of the month, and that does not help us out. Here is what I feel like is more of like a spring-like forecast for you. We get through the first couple of days of the week around average, those showers possible, then we start warming, we get mid-50s. Then by the time we get to the end of the week, we're upper 50s, quite a bit of sunshine, dry. The other important thing that I think to note is our overnight temperatures. Those are all above average, coolest night Thursday to Friday. I know some of you are interested in snow levels all the way through the beginning of the week, above pass level. So everything looks pretty mild and calm, I'd have to say, going into this third week of the month.
Very interesting, and I say that because I'm looking forward to a little bit of sun, but we need rain and we need snow really bad still, but that doesn't look horrible to me at all.
Deb and I were talking about that this morning. Like, you know, I love all types of weather, so I'm good with snow, rain, those kind of things that don't hurt people. I'm ready for some sunshine.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Katie, thank you very much as always. We'll see you this upcoming weekend. Yes. All right, everyone, let's cut to a break. When we come back, we're going to have Millard Hauser from Delta Waterfowl. We will enlighten you on as to why you should be part of the Delta Waterfowl organization. Conservancy is mainly done by the user group, hunters, the original conservationists. We'll be right back.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by P-Line, because we fish, by Hawken Fishing, perfection in fishing gear, and by Haxton's Canvas and Upholstery, the trusted name of the Pacific Northwest.